Good afternoon, everybody. I am Dr. Dhondiba Ishwanath, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Government First Grade College, Kyarpuram, Bangalore. Today I am going to discuss about part 2 of the nucleic acid, which is belong to Chemistry 8, that is Biochemistry of 6th semester BSc. I have already explained about part 1 of the nucleic acid. Now today I am going to discuss about nucleic acid part 2, that is the remaining portion of nucleic acid chapter. Now in which the polynucleotides meaning and structure, Watson and Crick model of structure of DNA, structure of ribonucleic acid, next differences between DNA and RNA, biological importance of DNA and RNA, protein nucleic acid interactions, chromatin nucleic acid interactions, viral nuclear capsid. These points I have to discuss in this class. Now polynucleotides. Polynucleotides are formed when adjacent nucleotides are linked together through a phosphate diester bonds. The partial structure of the polynucleotide can be represented as below. This is the one that is a nucleotide, and this is the another nucleotide. These are be combined with using a phosphate diester linkage. Actually these are the 5 prime and that is a 3 prime ends. In the polynucleotides, C3 prime of the pentose sugar is linked with to the C5 prime of the pentose sugar in adjacent nucleotide through a phosphate diester linkage. Nucleic acids are polymers containing a very large number of nucleotides in a specific sequence. RNA can be regarded as a polynucleotide and DNA as a polydeoxynucleotides, ribonucleotide. Segments of the RNA and DNA can be represented as below. Now here polydeoxyribonucleotide, that is the DNA, and this is the polyribonucleotide, that is the RNA. Here this is begins with 5 prime end. It is a 5 prime end. Here the phosphate group will be there, and this is the deoxyribonucleic acid, that is the deoxyribonucleotide will be there actually with a base is nothing but adenine, and here this will be a joint with adjacent, that is a nucleotide will be a joint with at 3 prime position and that is a 5 prime position with a phosphate diester linkage, and this is similar takes place, that is adenine, guanine, then cytosine, thymine. These are the 4 bases of that is a DNA, and this will be a one strand will be a formed by polymerizing this takes place. Now similar to this, that is a ribonucleic acid, ribonucleotide is nothing but here similar to in which this is the nucleotide is nothing but ribose sugar will be present here, and here similar to this, the 5 prime that is a group will condense with or phosphorize at phosphate diester bond with, that is a 3 prime in the adjacent of molecules. Therefore adenine combined with guanine with a diphosphate, that is a phosphate diester bond, and this is the again here that is continuously polymerization is takes place in the polynucleotide. In RNA is ribonucleotide is nothing but adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil. These are the 4 that is the bases present in the polyribonucleotides. Now coming to that is the structure of DNA, which was that is discovered or elucidated by Watson and Crick model. Therefore we say that is a Watson-Crick model of structure of DNA. Watson and Crick model of structure of DNA can be explained by using following points. First point goes to that is a DNA molecule consists of 2 deoxyribonucleotides chains coiled around a common axis to form a right-handed double helix. The helix resembles a twisted ladder. Second point goes to this, the 2 strands are anti-parallel. The 5 prime end of the one strand is paired with the 3 prime of the other strand. The anti-parallel orientation facilitate the formation of hydrogen bonds between the nitrogenous bases that are oriented towards the interior of the helix. This is therefore here say that is a 5 prime end with that is a 3 prime end, or 3 prime end with that is a 5 prime end. These are the twisting which takes place. Now here third point goes to that is the hydrophilic sugar phosphate backbone. Hydrophilic sugar phosphate means which having a react with water molecules and hydrogen bond will be formed. That is it react with easy to react with aqueous solution or water. Therefore the hydrophilic sugar phosphate backbone is on the outside of the double helix, whereas hydrophobic means it is heading towards the water. It is cannot be react with water, or it cannot be that is a reaction with water. These bases are stacked inside the perpendicular to the axis of the helix. The two strands are held together by a specific base pairing. Therefore two double helix strands are held together by a specific base pairing. An adenine residue in one strand is paired with the thymine in the other strand. Similarly, the guanine of one strand is paired with cytosine in other strand. The base pairing occurs through hydrogen bonds. There are two hydrogen bonds between adenine and thymine, and three hydrogen bonds between cytosine and guanine. Fifth point is nothing but the DNA double helix is stabilized by hydrogen bonds between specific base pairs and also by hydrophobic interaction among the bases. The distance between the sixth point is the distance between two successive base pairs is 0.34 nanometer, and 10 base pairs are present in each complete terms of the helix. The diameter of the helix is 2 nanometer. This is observed from X-ray diffraction pattern. Therefore, overall information can be explained in the form of that is a diagram. Therefore, I have to show that is a diagram. This is the double helical structure. This is the one strand, that is a 5 prime to 3 prime. This is the end. This is the double helical structure, and next it is a 3 prime end starts and ends with that is a 5 prime. Therefore, they are called as a anti-parallel manner, in which the that is a sugar pentose bases, that is a phosphate group of that is a lipophilic is outside the double helical outside, and hydrophobic that is a phosphate group inside the groove or inside the double helix. And therefore here base pair will be takes place, that is the interaction between the base pair. Adenine interact with that is the thymine, and guanine interact with the cytosine. Now adenine and guanine having a that is a hydrogen bond will be takes place in that is a 2 in numbers, and guanine and cytosines having a hydrogen bond will be a 3. Now this is small, this is, we say that is a minor groove, and this is the big one, therefore it is a major groove. And this is the sugar phosphate backbone, and it is hydrogen bond will be a takes place. This is the complete structure of that is a double helical structure of DNA. Now here this can be also, we have to say that is a similar with the structurally. Now this hydrogen bonding we can be say in the base pair. This is the thymine or adenine with thymine. The hydrogen bond will be a 2 in numbers. Here hydrogen bond will be takes place oxygen atom and hydrogen atom and nitrogen atom. The two hydrogen bonds between the adenine and that is a thymine base, whereas the 3 hydrogen bonds between that is a cytosine and guanine are guanine and cytosine base pairing. Here interaction is takes place. Here oxygen and hydrogen will be takes place, nitrogen hydrogen will be takes place, and hydrogen oxygen will be takes place. Therefore 3 hydrogen bondings are present in the guanine and cytosine base pair. And this is about that is a structure of that is a DNA by Watson-Crick model. Now coming to that is a structure of ribonucleic acid or RNA. Like DNA, RNA is a polynucleotide chain consisting of nucleotides linked by a 3' to 5' end. The phosphodiester bonds with the phosphodiester bonds. However, they are smaller molecules containing ribonucleotides ranging from as few as 75 to several thousands. The RNA molecule is less organized than DNA. However, present evidences indicate that RNA contains short bond helical regions which are formed due to folding back on itself and due to intramolecular complementarily. In these regions, adenine pairs with uracil and guanine pairs with cytosine. The rest of the molecule assumes a random coil type of the structure. The transfer RNA or soluble RNA, which is the smallest of nucleic acids with 75 to 90 nucleotides, appears to have a precise secondary structure, which is referred to clover leaf structure and contains some unusual bases that can be drawn here. This is the unusual bases. This is the 3' is started. This is the single stranded molecule, but it is a reflect to the back just like a clover like structure. That is a 5' end will be a end here. That is a 3' to 5' end here end it takes place at the reflection in the clover like clover leaf structure. Here amino acid will be there, that is a ester bond will be formed, and here anticodon and codon will be takes place. Intramolecular hydrogen base pairing will be takes place here. These are about that is a RNA molecule, in which further we can say that is the number of tRNAs are purified and primary structure is illustrated. We have already know that is the secondary structure of the portion, and that can be purified to get the primary structure, and it is illustrated. The structure has some common features. All transfer RNAs have a GMP, that is a guanine monophosphate, at their 5' terminal end, and that is CC, that is a adenine at 3', that is a cytosine adenine at 3' end. The transfer RNA molecule serves both as amino acids carriers and interpreters of the genetic code in the protein synthesis. One of the loops or arms of transfer RNA containing a code which consists of 3 adjacent bases called anticodon, which is a recognized code, that is a codon obtained in the messenger RNA. The amino acid is always carried at 3' end terminal adenosine. These are about that is the information regarding the structure of RNA. Now come to that is the differences between DNA and RNA. DNA contains deoxyribose as a sugar, that is a 2-deoxyribose as a sugar, whereas in RNA contains that is a beta-D ribose as a sugar. Second one is the DNA contains bases adenine, guanine, cytosine and thymine, and the RNA contains adenine, guanine, cytosine and uracil. Therefore, we say that is in RNA thymine is absent, whereas in DNA uracil will be absent. Now the third difference is nothing but the DNA is a double stranded. Now in RNA it is a largely single stranded. Start from that is a 3' end to 3' to 5' end. Now it is stabilized by it is stable to the dilute alkali, it is liable to dilute alkali. These are the differences between DNA and RNA. Now coming to that is a biological importance of DNA and RNA. The main three differences between that is the main three biological importance of DNA or deoxyribonucleic acid are nothing but genetic information, replication, next transcription. In genetic information, The DNA store the genetic information and exchange the genetic information from parents to offspring, or parents to child, or that is a parent to daughters. They transferring the DNA. This is the called as a genetic information. Therefore, main that is a function of that is DNA is nothing but it store the genetic information and it transfer the genetic information from parent to offspring. Next, second one is replication. DNA plays an important role in replication of DNA. Hence, increase in number of chromosomes and cells, because it making the copy DNA. It is making the copy of its own replica. That is just like a Xerox copy, but it is similar to that is the same replication will be takes place. Therefore, it increases the number of chromosomes and cells. And third one is transcription. The main purpose of that is the DNA, or main function of the DNA is the formation of RNA from DNA. It synthesize that is a it make that is a RNA. Therefore, the genetic information it is a prepare that is a RNA from DNA. And these are the three main biological importance of DNA. Now coming to that is the biological importance of RNA. RNA is responsible for transferring the information contained in the DNA to make a particular protein synthesis. Therefore, the RNA it is responsible to transfer the genetic information, whatever may be information, to the protein synthesis, in the protein synthesis. Second one is transfer RNA is responsible for transferring amino acid to ribosomes to make the required protein synthesis. Means it required that is a amino acid to the ribosome to protein synthesis. It transfer the amino acid to the ribosomes to make the protein synthesis. Third one is regulatory RNA are molecules capable of regulating gene expressions in different mechanism. It regulate, it control that is a gene expression in the different mechanisms. The next fourth one is ribosomal RNA is a catalytic component of ribosomes in the protein synthesis in the cell. It is a ribosomal RNA is a catalytic component of ribosomes in the protein synthesis in the cell. The RNA molecules are able to catalyze the chemical reaction. These include cutting and ligating. Cutting means that is a breaking, and ligating means again joining other RNA molecules, and also the catalysis of peptide bond formation. It is a help to make the bond formation in the ribosomes, and these are called as a ribozymes. Ribozymes, a process in which the peptide bonds are formed in the ribosomes. They are called as a ribozymes. Enzymes. These are the act as a catalysis, and these are the five main functions of or importance of that is a RNA. Now coming to that is a protein nucleic acid interaction. What is the protein nucleic acid interaction? Protein interact with DNA and RNA through a similar physical forces, which include electrostatic interactions like a salt bridges, dipolar interactions like a hydrogen bonding, entropies affects hydrophobic interaction, and dispersion forces, that is a base stacking. These forces contribute in varying degree of protein binding in the sequence of specific or non-sequences, specifically in RNA, is due to the interaction of the proteins which recognize the bind particular nucleic acid sequence. During the nucleic acid sequence, the binding will be takes, that is a pairing will be takes, that is a due to having a, these are the forces are responsible to held together. One is nothing but electrostatic interactions, that is like a using a salt bridge, because salt bridge contains that is a agar gel, and there is a two solution particles like a just ions will be a there, that is potassium chloride, whatever maybe they are like, no, they are that is the charged particles will be present, and therefore electrostatics interactions will be takes place. Dipolar interaction means hydrogen bonding will be takes place. Entropy is due to hydrophobic, means heading towards the solution, aqueous solution, therefore entropy interaction will be takes place. And dispersion process means it is one liquid is dispersed in the another liquid, or one phase will be dispersed or mixed with other, and a base stacking is takes place. These forces are contributing varying of degree of binding sequence in the protein synthesis, or that is in the protein as well as nucleic acid. Now next one is nothing but chromatin and nucleic acid interaction. Chromatin is a major function of protein DNA interaction. It is a main, that is a portion of function of protein DNA interaction is to manage the extensive length of genetic material. It make that is a lengthy the genetic material contained in each cell. The lengthy DNA is packed into compact chromosomes. Lengthy DNA is packed into compact chromosomes which stores and reveals the genetic information when required. Chromosomes remodeling allows selective portions of the chromosomes to be revealed so that the DNA is available for gene transcription, or remain tightly packed so that transcription of the encoded genes is completely stopped or silent. Therefore, this is the about that is a chromatin nucleic acid interaction. Next, histone nucleic acid interaction. Histones are the proteins which interact with the DNA in forming a chromatin structure. They contain a large portion of positively charged amino acids, lysine and arginine in their structure, and DNA is negatively charged due to the phosphate group on the backbone. As a result, there is a strong attraction and high binding affinity between the histones and DNA. Hydrogen bonding involving hydroxyl amino acids in the histone peptide and the phosphodiester backbone of DNA and all are also important in further stabilizing the structure. The packing of the DNA into nucleosomes shortens the fiber length to 10 nanometer. Chromatin is further coiled into an even shorter, thick fiber turned into the 30 nanometers fiber, and further condensation would be lead to the formation of chromosomes. And these are about that is just information about histone nucleic acid interaction, and that will be summarized in the chromatin formation. Here DNA this like, and histones are nothing but it is make coiling more, and this is the nucleosomes are there, and therefore it is a complete, that is a structure of that is a chromatin protein interaction, then histone protein interaction, and these are the takes place. Now come to that is the last one, viral nuclear capsid. A typical virus, it is a parasite show, that is a typical virus consists of a core nucleus of genetic material surrounded by a protein sheath called nuclear capsid. A typical virus consists of a core nucleus of genetic material surrounded by a protein sheath called that is a nuclear capsid. The genetic material may be single or double stranded DNA or RNA. The capsid protects the genome and gives the geometry to the virus. And the capsid is subdivided into subunits called capsomers, which are in terms of that is subunits are called as a protomers. The capsid is made up of glycoproteins here, and this is the capsid inside here, and genome will be a, this is the genome is nothing but another that is a host molecule, and it is coating, this is the their genome. Therefore, the capsid is made up of glycoproteins which helps to recognize the host cell surface during the infection. This is and here the majority of the viruses have capsids with either a helical or icosahedraл structure. An icosahedraл virus is a virus consisting of identical subunits that make up equilateral triangles that are in turn arranged in a symmetrical fashion. A special type of the icosahedral shape called a prolate is a variant of the icosahedral viral shape, and it is found in the bacteriophages. And this is about that is a viral nuclear capsid, and this complete that is a second part of the nucleic acid, and hence the nucleic acid is completed.